I am on a special call with our Mr. X, who I talked about to you previously, who, just give you a quick backstory. I met this guy at this recent event I was at. It was called Traffic and Conversion Summit. I was there. I flew to San Diego from Singapore, and it was a great event, learning about, you know, traffic and conversions, how to make money, get traffic, stuff like that. And one of the breaks, I bumped into this guy who is, he didn't really look like he's an internet marketer or anything. I thought he was just some newbie guy sitting there. But it turned out that I went up to him and spoke to him, and over a coffee, he told me what he's actually doing, and it totally blew my mind away. Something completely different than what I've been teaching to my subscribers and my customers. And we're gonna see this guy in a minute. What he's basically he's doing is he's selling these weird items online, and I'm not talking about digital products. I'm talking about physical products, which he doesn't even have himself. He's basically a middleman, and he sells these weird items on the internet and makes a lot of money online. I'm talking about tens of thousands of dollars a day, okay, selling these products. And what I'm going to do is, what he shared with me at this event was insane. So I convinced him to get on a special call when we both got back home and record this so I can share it with you guys, okay? So I've got Greg here on the call. How are you doing, Greg?
Thank you very much for the very kind introduction. I do want to make a little bit of a correction on something you said. It is not tens of thousands of dollars every day, okay? Some days we do 5 figures, and some days we're in mid to high four figures. So just to give full disclosure and, you know, total honesty, that it's not that much every single day. Though I will tell you that doing these, what we like to call weird little items, is
right.
It's giving us opportunities that we've never had before.
Okay, man, cool, good stuff. So what you told me at this, you mentioned a little bit about these weird items, and I was actually blown away because first of all, they're not products that you own yourself. It's not stuff, you're not just selling like junk from your house like people do on eBay. This is actually an actual, you know, you're basically a middleman. You found these products and you're buying them for very cheap, and then you're selling them on the internet, selling hundreds of these weird items every single day, and you've kind of automated the process where you don't even have to do much, right? So what I'm gonna do is just have you walk through, so everyone watching this can basically get an idea of how they can start doing and replicating what it is that you're doing. So first of all, maybe give us a quick background of how you discovered this and how you got into it.
Well, you know, internet marketing is, you know, there's a lot of different ways that we can approach making money on the internet. And a lot of people do things, and they do really hard, convoluted ways that require a lot of experience or a lot of legs on the ground. But what a lot of people don't know is actually you're over in Asia, actually. And being over in Asia, I don't have the luxury of having, so I don't like have an office in California. I don't have a warehouse. I don't have. So when I go ahead and think about what sort of business model is going to be very, very lucrative, I always go and think, you know, what's easy? What's the type of thing that I can do that really just requires me to be on my laptop? And what's really interesting is when we think about physical products, we have to go and order. We have to go and order, you know, 5,000 units from China and put them in a warehouse in Long Beach or Charlotte or something, and then we have to, you know, manage like shipping and returns and all these things. For the most part, Danny, would you mind covering your mic a little bit, because the wind is actually.
Oh shit! Yeah, let me mute myself.
Okay. So what ends up happening is that you know, a lot of people, when they do these physical product business, they have to literally start by investing you know, $5,000-$10,000 in inventory, and that's just not cool. I found a way that we can go and run and sell a very lucrative physical products business by not actually having to keep any inventory, which is kind of the secret here. We don't have to keep inventory. We don't need to have a website. We don't need to put any upfront investment. and we don't need to handle shipping or logistics. So it's really incredible because we act as what I like to call a sort of middleman. And by doing that, what we do is, like, for example, I have some products I want to go ahead and show you here, some products that we've been doing really, really well. And normally I don't show my winning products to people, but Jandy went and asked me to go share some of these products. So one of the products that's doing really, really well is, well, it's a selfie light. Okay, so I mean, I don't use this product. What you would do is you'd go ahead and you put this on your cell phone, like there, and you can see you can see it there, and it will go ahead and light you up when you want to go ahead and take a selfie to get you better things. So my cost on this selfie light it's about $5. It's $5.06, and that's buying it piece by piece. When I get wholesale, I get better rates, and I can sell this for $19.95. So I'm getting a profit of $14.89 per unit that I'm selling. Another really cool item that we've been doing really, really well on, it's this, I don't know if you can see that right there. It's an electric lighter. The thing's totally awesome. My cost on this is $6.85. And we're able to sell this for, what's it, $24.95. So we have $18.10 profit. Here's a shaving brush, like old style shaving. Some guys like to use the shaving brush. This is cheap. We get this for like $1. Okay, we get this for $1.54, and we sell this for $14.95. And what's cool about all these, and it's just slow. I have dozens of what we like to call these weird little items. Okay, and what's really, really cool about these weird little items is they just work, and anybody can do them. And I'm really, really excited to share with you today the strategy that we have going and selling these things, Johnny.
Myself, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's the wind's pretty bad. No, that's incredible, man. Like, I'm just gonna cover it so you don't hear the wind, but that's crazy. Like those 3 items: the light, the selfie light, and the shaving thing. So are you telling me there's actually people out there that are buying this stuff every day?
It's all about targeting, Jenny. So if we can go, and I actually have a method that I use. If we can go and target people directly and aim right at them, then it's lucrative. If we target the wrong people, we're not going to get anyway. So there's a little bit of skill and strategy in going and targeting. So we do something that's called, traditionally when you think of internet marketing and marketing to people go and think of something which is known as intent marketing. Okay, intent marketing means I'm like saying like, oh, I have some back pain, so I'm gonna go and search on Google for ways to relieve my back pain. Okay, and I go search on Google, and some people give me some information, or maybe I want to buy something. Okay, that's very lucrative. That's intent marketing. But the problem is you're behind on intent marketing. People have been doing intent marketing since the beginning of the internet. They have a 15-year head start on you. You can't compete. But we do something called interrupt marketing. Now, interrupt marketing, it goes and leverages social media platforms. So what we actually do is we don't go and find people who are saying, I'm searching, I want a selfie light, or I want an electric light, or I want a shaving brush. Rather, we can use targeting options on the social media platforms by targeting the social media platforms, what we can do is we're able to go and find people who are going to be interested in these things. So it's kind of hard to get directly into how to do the targeting on this. We'll do another training after this, which I'll go into the details how we do the targeting. But let's just say I can target people who are gonna want this lighter before they even know what this lighter is. I'm going to target people who want this selfie light. They've never even heard of a selfie light. Okay, and this is what the key is with interrupt marketing, is we interrupt, quote unquote, their social media experience, and we go and put something in front of them like this lighter or the selfie light that they're going to want, and we go ahead and sell it to them. So it's all about targeting to do it correctly, Jenny.
Right. Okay, so what you're saying is like getting these products is the easy part, but what most people don't do, and that's because I know there's a lot of other trainings about like e-commerce, is that a lot of these other products are focused maybe on the wrong way to target these people. And what you're doing is you're doing a different type of targeting where you're able to get like, way more sales from from targeting rather than doing it the traditional way, right? And that sounds pretty cool, and that's why I was excited about what he's teaching me, because you have a different approach because that's this is not the first. Maybe this might not be the first e-commerce type of training that that our customers watching this are going through now, but
it doesn't work, Janny. I mean, and this is the reality is when I started with e-commerce, and you won't believe this, and I'm kind of shy to tell people this because it's a little bit embarrassing, but I lost $13,000, like quite literally, and I lost months of my life going and trying to go and build out an e-commerce store, and that was a real problem, and we didn't like that. We didn't like that. I spent months of my life in $13,000, and I was opening something called, it's like a Shopify store or something. And the problem is right now in the industry, Janny, is a lot of people out there are telling you that, oh, just open up an e-commerce business and you're going to make a lot of money. Well, that's not the case. Just going and showing up is not good enough. You have to know the loophole. And the loophole that we're using, it's working right now. Like, ask me in a year, was it going to be working? I don't know. Like, I can't say. I know that right now, the loophole that we have, it's gold in our hands. It's literally a gold making machine. We just turn the wheel in the machine, and everything we go ahead and put in there. And when we follow the formula, we follow the directions, we go and make money from it. Okay. And if we deviate from the formula, we do something else. We're like, oh, I read this on the internet somewhere, or, this guy sent me an email and he said I need to do this, then we don't make money. If that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. Because it's not just as simple as you setting up your Shopify store, and a lot of people are like using these fancy words and Shopify, and then you set up your store, and then you're automatically going to be making money. You have to know the loophole, and one of them is what you just mentioned, which is the was it interrupt marketing, where you
interrupt marketing. Interrupt marketing is the key, and interrupt marketing is not the loophole. That's a part of the loophole that we use. Okay, we actually have a templatized software that we use for our system that executes the loophole. So what we do is we get in there and we open up our software and we operate it according to a few conditions, and it goes and sets up these weird little things for us. They're not even websites. What's cool is you don't even need a website for this. When you do, like, some people's like, oh, you need a website or you need a store. You don't need a website. You don't need a store. You don't need anything. You literally just have to open up the software and push buttons and follow the direction of the software, and you get up little stores with these things. And then when people buy them, they'll send you like $15 for this or something. They'll send you $20 for this. You keep like $12, $13 in profit. And the company that makes it ships it directly to the consumer. You never once have to touch inventory, Janny.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So once you basically set it up, I mean, it's pretty much automated. You just spending a little bit of time managing to see if everything is going smoothly. So that sounds pretty good. Now, before we get into the next part, I want to, could you maybe show some of the sales or money that you've been making recently?
I don't actually have anything loaded up right now. Let me see if I got any pictures on my phone. I was showing some people earlier some stuff on my phone. Hold on a second. And I think we're going to do a follow-up call, and I'll get some more stuff. So, right, can you see that right there? There's some. That's just like one day's work. It's like, I think it's like $9,000 collected. Here's some other stuff. Hold on a second. There you go. That one has over 2,700 purchases on there. Each one of those purchases is netting us about $20. So I mean, you could do the basic math. Here's another one. This item's a little not as good. It's only like 1,207. It's only like 1,207 purchases. Can you see that right now? Is that okay?
Wow. Yeah. Is that in a day or what?
Yeah. So I mean, it works. I mean, it works. So I mean, earlier at the beginning of the call, you're like, this guy's doing multiple 5 figures a day. I mean, some days we do and some days we don't. I don't want to lie, because some days, like, quite literally, we'll only make like $4,000 or $5,000. Other days we'll like do literally $20,000 or $30,000. So it's really a variable. It's really an up and down.
Yeah, I mean, even I'm guessing people in here, like, even making like an extra $2,000 in a month is probably going to be good enough to help everyone, you know, who's currently
2,000 a month is no problem. Yeah, I mean, if you fall, I mean, the only reason people don't succeed is they show up and they get what's called shiny object syndrome, where they just kind of like, they kind of get dazzled and they go ahead and, you know, they get distracted and they go and like buy other courses and they go and like, you know, start getting distracted and reading too much on the internet. The people that actually show up and follow the directions, I mean, it's just A plus B equals C. It's 1 plus 2 equals 3, man. I mean, it's just simple like that.
Yeah. No, exactly, man. So that sounds pretty cool. So far you've talked about how so basically you're selling like these weird items, and then you're using a loophole that you have, and you're doing a different kind of marketing called interrupt marketing. We've seen some of the income you were making. So maybe you could give us like a set of steps, maybe like maybe 4 or 5 simple steps, like an overview of how an absolute beginner watching this call can start getting their business up and running. Like, what would be the steps they would take if they would start like as soon as they finish watching this call?
So I'm going to go ahead. Okay, that's a good question. And so there's kind of a problem here, Gianni, is I'm going to go ahead and tell you the steps to get set up. But I found that if I'm going to go and give you these steps, somebody who doesn't have a lot of experience doing some of these things, there's a lot of places they can get hung up and they can get really kind of caught up and don't succeed because they get caught up in certain places. So what we've actually done is we've developed a software where it actually goes and does all the steps for you. And that's going to basically take something that may be very complicated if you try to do it manually and go and move it into a completely automated 1, 2, 3 push the button system, if that makes sense to you. So we'll be demoing the software. I think we're going to do that in the next call. But what I want to do is, let me go ahead and tell you the basic steps. Is we have to go ahead and do proper product research. So proper product research means we need to find things that people are going to find interesting. So we're not selling things like spatulas or garlic presses or anything that is, you know, what I like to call almost a commodity. We sell things that people look at and they're like, oh, wow, that's cool. And nobody's going to say, oh, wow, that's cool to a spatula, even though they'll buy spatulas. But that's not for our type of marketing. Our type of marketing is interrupt marketing. So when we're researching products, the first thing we think to ourselves, is that something somebody would share on Facebook or would send to their friend via email? And if the answer is yes, then that's something we're going to go with. The answer is no, no matter how good it is, we don't go with it, okay? Because it doesn't work via interrupt marketing in that regards, okay? Then what we do is we go ahead and set up something called RDSPF. And we can go over more of the details of an RDSPF in the next call. There's an easy way to do it and a hard way to do it. That stands for Rapid Deployment Single Product Funnels, okay? So we go and set up one of these, and we always do a single product. So we're not setting up a store. We're not, doing this sort of thing. We set up a single product, one upsell. So we have a main product, and then we have an add-on product to it. And that's the key, okay? Then what we do is we go ahead and collect the people's money, and I show all my clients and my students how to go collect money. And then we go to another website, which I'll show you in the next call, and we order it, okay? What's cool is the manufacturer of these things, they'll send it directly to your customer, and you never once have to touch inventory. You could be operating your business from Singapore. You could sell it to somebody in the United States and it gets shipped directly to them. That never comes to you. You just collect the profit. And that's the basic 1, 2, 3 system on how it works. And again, if you're just getting started off, it may seem a little complicated. And so we built a software which is just kind of like push a button and it does it all for you.
Okay, so I'm actually quite excited about that, because the way you're doing it is you're not setting up a store. Everyone's telling you to set up a store and like using these fancy words, and then
no, stores are for
you're not. You're saying you're doing the complete opposite. You're like, yeah. So basically, you're not doing what most people are telling you to do, and really, what they're actually just trying to get you to do is to sign up to this store builder via their affiliate link, and that's how they're making money, right?
They just don't work anymore, man.
Yeah, exactly. Because like everyone's doing these stores, so now you're doing something different. It's a single product. and you're using your interrupt marketing, you've got one upsell, which is that's the key there, which you said, and then so basically you're selling the product before you even buy it, which is that's the key. That's another key there.
Upfront money is the key here. You don't have to invest.
Right, exactly. So, and then you go and you order it and they send it, and then that's pretty much it. And you can basically operate this from anywhere in the world. It's totally awesome. Now, you mentioned something about a software, which we'll go into a little bit more in a moment. And I think if you're watching this, guys, in the video, I think I'll have like a PDF or something below as well with like these steps that Greg just mentioned, but we'll have it in a little bit more detail just so you can go through it. But I guess the only thing after this is they need to just target the right people. And you talked about this, which is the interrupt marketing. And I think what we'll do is we'll go into this more in the next call, which we do, which is how to target them and, you know, using your software as well. So I think what we'll do now is just quickly talk a little bit about this software that you have, how it works, and then we'll talk about the next steps, the next part in the next call.
Yeah, well, I mean, what I'd like to do is, you know, obviously this is a recorded call. What I'd like to do is I'd actually like to go ahead and demonstrate the software live. So we're gonna have a couple times where people are gonna be able to come on the demonstration live and really go and see how the software works. But what we've done is we've taken a process which, you know, some people can find, you know, a little bit difficult, especially if you don't have a lot of experience. And we have it passing what we like to call the mom test. Okay, so basically, if our moms could go ahead and use this software and do well at it, then you can too. And we basically made it so that with just a few clicks following the directions, you can have, you know, these weird little products. You can have your own little weird little product money-making engine up on the internet, and it could really work for you.
Right. Okay. All right, so I think that's really cool. So I guess what we'll agree to do, I think we'll do it as a live course, so like we can actually interact with everyone on here, and then you can actually answer the questions live and actually show them. That would actually be pretty cool. So what we'll do is, I think after we get off this this recording, let's set up a time and date for the webinar. And if you're watching this now, everyone, it should be below. There should be a button where you can register for our live call, and it should have the date below and the time and date. Okay, so I guess go ahead and register for that. I'm looking forward to having this live call with you.
Let me also say, Janny, that everybody that comes to the webinar, try to make sure to watch it from your computer, not from your mobile device or your iPad, because we're actually going to be giving you practical exercises that you need to go through when you're on the call, that by the end of the training, hopefully you're going to have one of these set up yourself. And if you're on like an iPad or a phone or something, you can't actually like multitask and go and do this on the call. So please make sure to get the full value of it. You come from a desktop computer or a laptop, whatever. I mean, it's
right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, guys, like, to be honest, if you're serious about like setting up a proper business, you've got to be doing stuff from your computer or laptop. You can't be doing this stuff from your phone, right? So yeah, get on your computer and laptop.
After it's set up, you can just check your money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, after it's set up, you can obviously check your money from your phone. But yeah, guys, if you want to do it properly and then interact with us, then get on the live training from your computer or laptop. Okay. So I think that's pretty much that. I'll put a summary of what we've talked about, maybe a more detailed explanation, guys, below in like a PDF, which you can download. So you can actually.
I'll give you some of my profit numbers too, so you can show them, you know, what's profit.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that would be cool. So guys, if you look below, you should be able to see like a more in detailed PDF about what we just talked about. So guys, I think that's pretty much it. Register for the live webinar, which is coming up very soon, and we'll look forward to seeing you on this call. And if you have any questions, let us know, post in the Facebook group or email us on support, and we'll get back to you. Now remember, this is one-time only training we're going to be doing. It's not like something that Greg usually does. I mean, Greg doesn't even Greg doesn't make money from like from these webinars.
Johnny, prefer to keep it that way. Okay, I'm not one of these
Yeah.
guys who goes up on stage and, you know, as seen on TV. I don't even want that. I just prefer to make my money and keep quiet.
Exactly. Yeah, you're an underground market, and you'll stay underground and continue just making loads of money without having to be in the spotlight. So this is the only time I think we're going to be doing this. So make sure you get on this call and soak in information. And after this call, hopefully you'll be able to set up your own business and start making like really, really decent, good amounts of money. So with that said, I've enjoyed this call. I learned a lot as well from this, and I guess I'll see you on the webinar.
Yeah, we'll see. Make sure you're on there live, everybody. Like, you don't want to be. This is good stuff. Okay, we gotta go. Thank you, guys.
See you. Okay, bye.